Hi, everyone. My name is Matt Haynes. I'm an audiobook narrator, and this is part of my series of accents and voice styles. For the next few months, we're going to be breaking down little bits and pieces of the Gilbert Gottfried voice style. In video number one, what we covered were the New York isms that Gottfried has. And then the breaking down of how the voice lives in the face and in the throat, and particularly the mouth, where the resonance is. Now, the question that I had last time was, okay, how does one do the Gottfried without shredding one's voice up? Well, first of all, it's still very challenging, I think, no matter what I do. The thing that's really the major challenge with doing the Gottfried voice is that his voice is a much higher pitch than mine. So if I was to say to be or not to be, that is the question in Gottfried voice, it'd be to be or not to be. Now that's me without applying the vocal grit of the Gottfried voice. So how does one do that when Gilbert Gottfried has such a high voice and such a gritty voice? Well, see, it already is scratching my throat. Doing both is going to rip my voice to shreds. So unless I'm doing some method acting for a character that needs to be super hoarse, not a good idea, especially since I'm a narrator. So what do we do? Well, the first thing to do is to, I think, cheat. Now, what do I mean by that? Basically, to cheat with the Gilbert Gottfried voice means to go high and smooth on those high notes and then go down and get gritty on the lower ones. So it's a little bit more doable. So, as you can see again, this is not recommended for long form narration. But for long form narration, let's stick with the Gottfried interview voice, which is much more smooth. So what we're going to do, the process goes like this. First, squeeze the face as much as possible so the tension goes into this resonance and leaves the jaw and the throat as much alone as possible. Go up, 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 but smooth on the high notes, and then go down, down, down on the low ones, and keep the jaw going open as much as possible. That's right, as much as possible. So possible. I'll need to reconcile the or for double S. Okay, so a similarity to this is what I would call sort of the Pee Wee Herman phenomenon, where he goes up in his nose and then down sometimes. In fact, probably the one example that I would give for Pee Wee Herman is in the movie Pee Wee's Big Adventure. Because I just realized while saying it that actually his voice does go up really high when he's doing this voice. But what I'm thinking in particular is a moment in Pee Wee's Big Adventure where he realizes that his nemesis may have taken his bike. He's like, "Oh no, Francis." So it goes down like that. So we're going to try that phenomenon with the Gilbert Gottfried voice cheating a little bit. So let's go into the lemon face. We're going to start on the high note, and then we're going to go down, squeezing the upper part of the face and keeping the jaw loose and nice and flexible when we're going down so that we don't get stuck in tension. So, to be or not to be, that is the question. Whether 'tis noble in the mind to seek to set whatever, the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against the sea of troubles, and by thus opposing end them. Good. Okay. Well, not ideal, but I survived. And please, everybody, if you're going for this for more than 5 minutes at a time, do your vocal warm-ups and get plenty of water. Okay, so we still have the challenge of when the R is dropped at the end of the word. Sometimes he'll say war, so it's there at the end. But sometimes with other words, it goes into the more stereotypical New York of wa, just being dropped completely. Um, so, um, what is the consistent rule to live by with Gilbert Gottfried with that? Also, what kind of song would you like Gilbert Gottfried to recite? Now, there's ironic Gilbert Gottfried videos all over the place in terms of, 50 Shades of Grey and children's stories being read by Gilbert Gottfried and all that sort of thing. So it's not particularly original to do a song that is going to be funny in Gilbert Gottfried voice. I'm curious about what kind of a song might actually harmonize with Gilbert Gottfried and be moving. This is the challenge. All right. Everybody, thank you for joining me. And please do put in the comments your suggestions. And as your narrator and teacher of narration, I hope that my voice and your ears meet again real soon.